Hey there. So recently, one of my clients asked me to download a composite of specific spectral bands at the national scale for countries like Pakistan, India, Bangladesh. So I thought the best way to do this would be using Google as engine platform. So here I am going through the FAO's Gold 500-meter simplified global administrative unit layers. So I'll be copying this snippet from here and creating a variable, say countries, and pasting this. After that, I'll just need to select my area of interest, that is the nations. It is filtering the nations. Right here, I will add my variable as India, countries, because I have taken countries as a variable for my feature collection, dot filter, because I want to filter from, then another clause, dot filter, dot equals to, right? And this will be getting from here. This is the whole documentation which we can refer to anytime. This is the one that I'm using right now, right? Then we'll select ADMO 0, because here, as you can see, the administrative unit has this particular name as ADM0 underscore name. That will have a string variable like the different nations' name, be it India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, whatever it is. This is the one, right? This is the one that I'm using. ADM. I believe this is 0 in the name as well as in the code. So this underscore name, comma, India. Now here's a catch. I don't know, in a lot of areas, the true Indian map is not represented properly. And I'm not sure whether this will have the correct depiction as well or not. If not, we will be using the Survey of India's map, which is freely downloadable if you have registered it through a slightly lengthy process where you need to give your phone number and the OTP will be generated. That is how you would be getting registered into that portal. Similarly, Pakistan, then Bangladesh. Now we need to merge these into one particular feature collection, which is optional, but I love doing it because it gives me all the layers into one stacked collection. Here I've given India because I have defined India in small letters here, not to confuse with the variable and the original documentation that is under the FAO. Right? Now we'll merge it using this particular then we'll just visualize it. Map.add layer. So from here, we'll just copy it here, then give the visual parameters as default, and then South Asia. Anyway. Right? We should run Control Enter to run it. There should be capital F. And here we need to be defining this as a name. Therefore, this bracket should come. Okay, let's do map center, otherwise, yeah, just as I thought, the India is not represented correctly. So I'll be working with Pakistan. I think Pakistan is represented correctly, to my understanding. And Bangladesh also represented correctly. So what I'll be doing is I'll just be using Pakistan and Bangladesh from here, and I'll take India from my own shapefile. So I'll just add that in a bit. So my client had just sent me the shapefile, and it is always the best option to check using a GIS software whether the boundaries are correct or not. Because when you'll be publishing this, this can be regarded as a serious offense in whichever part of the world that you're working as. To represent any nation's national recognized boundary as something else, it is a crime. So I've selected all these, and I'm going to upload it. So DBA file, PRJ, SHX, SHP, right? Shapefile, DBF, PRJ, SHX, CPG, SBN are all selected. So This should upload easily. Yes. So this is how your taskbar should look like now that you have completed your upload. Just need to refresh this and your asset would be here, has been ingested. So I just need to import this from here. It will be var as table, which we need to be changing to var India. So now that this is filtered, we can easily write this code down. Dot merge India. And this should run properly. Yes. Okay, in the meantime, I have also included this map.center object, which zooms in the area of interest. So we don't need to search the entire world map just to see where we are working on. So now that we have filtered all these, we just need to be selecting our bands. Mind you, the bands that I'm choosing are green, that is band 3, red, band 4, uh, NIR, that is near infrared, band 5, and SWIR, band 6. So we need to include that name as well, such that it helps us to identify what bands we are working on. And also, if I were to give this code to anyone who is who is very new to this Earth Engine platform, they would also be able to understand this with ease. Now we'll be adding a map function. This is the scale. So this was done to for scaling and offset correction, which is a very common step in Landsat collection to level 2 surface reflectance, the surface reflectance bands that we have utilized. So what happens is here the raw reflectance values in Landsat data are stored as integers like scaled DN value and not the true reflectance. Now we know the true reflectance value ranges from 0 to 1. And that is the reason why scaling is important. As you can see here, the min value is 1 and the maximum value is 65455. The data property provided by USGS is scaled to 16-bit. Pixel value can range from 0 to 65535, that is this. And that is the reason we get this kind of value. So we need to be scaling this using this values which are already provided. This value and the scale factor, which converts the stored integers value to reflectance. And this is the additive offset, which corrects the reflectance baseline. After that, we need to be creating a median composite because we are dealing with hundreds and thousands of individual satellite data, each taken from different date. And see the date window that we have provided is quite large. So these images can vary with clouds or shadows and atmospheric effect. And that is the reason why we need to take into consideration the removal of clouds and outlier, hence the median filter. So all right. So a few of the corrections that I just did is including inverted comma here and this filter cloud cover, which you can get right here by the band name here. Cloud cover. There's a percentage of cloud cover. 0 to 100 and -1 is not calculated. So with this, we will get a composite. Let's see how it has come. We need to select the band as well as the System visualizing curve. We can just import from here and paste it here. That's the reason why I prefer keeping this section for visualization empty. Oh god. Right, so this does the work. If you want to do the analysis here itself in Google Earth Engine, you can also subdivide in stretch type. That's because this is such a huge data, and sometimes the same thing becomes valid in one and valid in another. So this is not an issue. This is how Google Earth Engine works basically. However, if you want to do this analysis in a different software like ArcGIS or QGIS, you can simply click this out. And so after you have visualized, you can just export it like this. Here, I started doing some other subsectional analysis. So I've given UP, that is Uttar Pradesh. You can give any of the regions name that you're working on. For example, Landsat India. Here as well, India. And you need to create a folder which should have a name. And this is the, and here you can give the region. This is actually the thing that will clip. This is here, AY regions is Pakistan, India, and Bangladesh, right? But when we want to export, we just want the region of India for the time being. And the CRS, whatever you want the CRS to be, if it is UTM 32645, the general one, 32645, and max pixel, which is the maximum limit. So this is how you can export. Similarly for Pakistan, Bangladesh, if you want to do it separately. If you don't, you can just export and give the region here as AY regions. Here, this one, in case of India, and download the entire thing. But remember, for that, exporting it in 100-meter would be quite a feasible option as opposed to 30-meter resolution, because it will not happen provided the data limitation. Because you cannot download this huge data of such huge size in one go. So it is easier to download in 100-meter if you want to download this entire bit of section of the data, right? And if you want to download in chunks, like for India, then also this entire region of India is quite big, so is Pakistan. For Bangladesh, yes, you can do it in 30 meters, but for Pakistan also, it is not a feasible option. So then you need to do it in 100 meters or more.